Now, after Nio has been consistently delivering over 20,000 deliveries on a month-to-month and the successful launch of the Onvo L60, I think you and me can agree on one thing, and that is the Nio CEO was right. By 2030, Nio could be in the top 5 when it comes to the car company selling most vehicles on a month-to-month or annually, which is something that is pretty exciting. I mean, based on what we see or the kind of potential that lies within the Nio models and also the sub-brand Onvo, not including Firefly because we have not seen it yet. You and me can agree that Nio could be a company that could finish the year 2025 easily selling 70,000 from just these two brands, which therefore means that by 2026, who knows, Nio could be selling 100,000 on a monthly basis from 3 brands, Onvo, Firefly, and Nio. We could see that happening. And once they go above that, or once they go to that figure, my God, I can't imagine the kind of revenues that we'll be seeing per quarter Nio generating. This shows you or tells you one thing. Nio, it is a monster in the making. What Nio is doing, achieving right now is nothing compared to what we can see in the future. I mean, right now, Nio has showed its success or continue showing its success in China, selling over 20,000 on the premium space. I mean, Nio does not sell cheap cars. Nio main brand is not selling cheap cars. The cheapest model that you can buy from Nio costs around $42,000 in China. This shows you that Nio cars are not cheap, and seeing Nio consistently delivering over 20,000 deliveries on a month-to-month shows us that Nio is a company that is putting a lot of work. Nio is a company that is doing very well, and chances are it will continue doing well even in the future. Now there's Onvo, which they just launched on Thursday, and this model or this brand in itself is just set for greatness because the target audience or the target market for this brand is much wider than the target market for the Nio brand, because for the Nio brand you are looking at middle to upper income earners, and whereas for the Onvo you are looking at middle income earners. Almost anyone who's working can afford this car, and therefore the market is much broad. And therefore it is for this reason that even this car is expected, or this brand is expected to even sell more than Nio in the long term, because I mean its market is broad. I mean, its direct competitor or Onvo's direct competitor L60, which is Tesla Model Y, sells over 60,000 on a month-to-month in China, and therefore it shows that if one model, which is Tesla Model Y, it's scoping that, you can imagine the kind of sales we could see. Of course, Onvo taking away from, of course, Model Y together with other EV cars, because this model right here, the technology that's in here can't be comparable to the other technologies in its segment, and therefore it makes things very interesting or brings so much competition to the existing models in its segment. And to add the cherry on top, or put the cherry on top, this model, the L60 Onvo, it supports battery swap, which means that those that buy it without the battery will enjoy Nio's battery swapping station technology, which enables them to go and swap the battery inside their Onvo by just 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This is what we have seen. This is what they are going to be enjoying, which is something that is very, very incredible. And the battery swapping station, from what we have been seeing it doing onto the Nio main brand, it attracts, it makes those that want to buy EV cars to get attracted to the cars that supports this, because let's face it, nobody out there who's driving an EV car does not want to see themselves driving or going to a battery swap and experience their car performing battery swap, right? It is for this reason that Nio, we see them doing very well, especially after the price adjustments which they introduced around March of reducing long Range batteries to 1,128 RMBs and standard battery packs to 728 RMB. This is what we have seen that has been attracting a lot of consumers coming to buy Nio. And for Onvo, it is the same. If Onvo sees, or if Nio and Onvo sees that a lot of people are not subscribing to bus, guess what they can do? They can decide to lower down battery rental prices, which for Onvo long range, you'll know that it's $128, whereas for the standard battery packs, which is 60 kilowatts, is $85 on a month to month. This is what we see, and if they see Onvo struggling in terms of sales, which I doubt, they can always adjust this, and the same formula applies. Because we saw a lot of people starting to come and buy Nio, people will also flood Onvo, and with Onvo, like I said, it has got much broader market, and therefore will get a lot and lots of people coming and placing their order onto Onvo. Now, all these stories I'm telling you to just remind you once again what the Nio CEO said, and that is by 2030, Nio will be in the top 5 of the best selling, or of the most selling cars brands globally. And I believe him by saying that. I mean, some of the people ask if Nio CEO is really that smart. My simple answer to that, without thinking twice, is absolutely. I mean, that guy is a genius, man. I mean, look at some of the things that he has been saying. I mean, the very first time, think about it, when he started saying they will introduce the sub-brands, a lot of people, or some of the people, were against this whole notion, to say that rather than Nio CEO introducing new sub-brands, how about he starts offering single motors, double motors on the existing Nio models? And the Nio CEO came and said they want to keep Nio premium. They don't want to compromise the quality. Nio is for the top dog, right? And these sub-brands will be, of course, be afforded, or will be for the mass market, which that in itself, to be able to come with that, I think it's genius. A lot of people, a lot of investors are starting to see how brilliant that idea was coming from the Nio CEO. I mean, people were against even the deployment of battery swapping stations, but now that we are over 2,500 battery swapping stations, and they see the potential that lies within battery swapping station, being it for those that are swapping their batteries using battery swapping station, or being that the government getting their power grid stabilized because of battery swapping stations. So many of the investors right now are starting to see the light, which the Nio CEO has been telling us. So once again, if I ask you again, do you think that the CEO of Nio is not wise, is not smart? I think he is, which is why Nio it is where it is right now. I mean, tell me of a EV maker that is ahead of time than Nio. I'm telling you, some of the technology that Nio is deploying onto their cars, deploying when it comes to their infrastructure, some of you might start seeing the potential of those technology in the next 2 years. But already the Nio CEO, already the Nio team has already seen how the industry will look like, and why technologies like battery swapping stations will play a major role in this fast-growing EV space. And therefore, Nio positioning themselves well will just be ready to make sure that they are the center of attention when it comes to global EV, not just in China, but globally, which is something that is so incredible, so interesting to see. And the Nio CEO was right about this. Nio will be in the top 5 when it comes to the total units they are selling on a yearly basis globally, which is something that I look forward to, and I just thought I'd just remind you this once again. Otherwise, that's all from me. I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.